Most AI tools are absolutely garbage. That's it. I said it. And they're costing you thousands of dollars in the process. Death by 1,000 cuts, one subscription at a time. Not because the technologies are bad or anything, but because you're using them completely wrong. You look at social media and you've bought into the dream, that AI caller that's going to 10x your sales, the content planner that's going to make you go completely viral, or the email tool that you never have to send another one manually again. And yet you're still stuck with the generic outputs, the frustrated team, and zero real results. Meanwhile, you're watching people on social media claim they're making millions of dollars and you're wondering what you're missing. The truth is they're selling you convenience when what actually you need is something completely different. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down why chasing shiny AI objects is killing your business and what you need to do instead. But as always, before we get into it, I am running a challenge for myself in the month of February to post 196 plus unique pieces of content across social media using my AI system that I've built. This is a challenge to prove it's not only possible, but to show you if you posted this much content, how it could change the trajectory of your business. So to show your support, and if you want to follow along, please like and subscribe on my channel. Plus, if you head over to my Instagram page and direct message me 196, you'll be one of the first to get the exact system once the month is complete. Now, let's talk about why you keep getting burned by these AI tools. These AI tools, they're not out here doing anything malicious. They just don't understand how the market works itself. Over the last 3 years, we've been building AI technologies for ourselves and for businesses, and we've really understood what works and what doesn't work. The fundamental reason that they're selling you this stuff is just the convenience to be able to get you to the results that you're trying to do. The problem with it is it's always generic. Every tool that you sign up with, you need to train the tool on your business. And in behind these tools is a prompt. That's just how they're built. The generic outputs, even if you're using ChatGPT, if you don't know how to prompt these things properly, it's just giving you these generic results. That's why you typically see when you're running these tools, you get a quick dopamine high because it's giving you some sort of convenience. And then as you continue to use it, it continues to drop off. It's because it's not continuing to draw you up that line of true success. And that's where it's extremely frustrating as a business owner. The market is completely saturated. There's thousands of tools. They're getting released every single day. AI callers, tools, content planners, scheduling assistants, like something that help you with accounting, email marketing, blog writers, newsletters. They're everywhere. There's thousands of them. And which one are you supposed to use? I get that question all the time. Well, which tool am I supposed to use? I haven't invested into it because I don't know what tool to use. It's because there is too many of them. The overwhelm of all these tools is keeping you from actually investing into AI. But you don't need them all. You really don't. They promise you all of this overnight success, which again, some of them can give you this success, but only for a certain period of time. And that's where it becomes extremely dangerous to continue to use all these tools without knowing how they actually work. There's a platform out there. There's a tool for that. There's an AI tool for that. I can't remember exactly what it is. And it's got the thousands of tools on there. It's a website that I can't stand because when you go to it, the overwhelm behind this page itself completely confuses people. And you never actually get anything done, which is the frustrating piece. You're looking at them all. It's like you click on one, but you don't actually invest, and so on and so forth. You do not want to become dependent on these tools. So if we look at this, this is your business in the center here. And as you keep adding more tools across all of your processes, and we could keep going for hours on the amount of tools that you could essentially add into your business. Each one of these is a shiny object because you've been sold that it's going to change your business. It's going to be convenient for you. You're going to make millions of dollars. Your team's not going to be able to have to work anymore, which is great. Couple problems with that. One, they don't talk to each other. Hardly ever. You can use things like Make and Zapier and N8N, but it's just another tool that you need to integrate into the connection of these tools. Our businesses fail because of the communication between departments, communication between people. And AI is the exact same way. If you don't have these things connected and talking together, in other videos I talk about, you need to create the assembly line, how these things talk to one each other. But if your business has to train each one of these individually, this is where you run into a lot of friction. You have to sign up to the tool. You need to train your business on it. And then as your business changes, you need to retrain it, so on and so forth. The more tools you add, the harder it gets. And then the expense of all of them as well continues to rise. And that's where step one of these problems starting to arise. People are really starting to feel now. It's been over a year since AI has really started taking off, especially ChatGPT, sorry. And people are starting to feel that friction. I understand that this is what the markets are teaching. I sympathize with that, but it's not what should be taught. And this is because it hasn't been around long enough for people to really understand what this is. The next thing with it is all of these, as you continue to use these tools and your business starts to change, you have to go back in and train each one individually again. How is that effective to your business? It's absolutely not. And this is the problem with using all of these AI tools. In time, it becomes less effective than effective itself. The next thing with it, the amount of, I'm just going to use this for example because these ones drive me insane. AI callers, people coming to me saying, I want to add an AI caller to my business. Well, first of all, have you ever picked up the phone and did a cold call in your business itself? No, but I've seen on social media that it can generate more leads and be able to get more sales. Well, first of all, if you've never done it before, it's a complete waste of time because you haven't proven the process to be able to do this with the human in other videos. The next thing with it is when the next AI caller comes out, what happens? Are you going to upgrade? So we got AI caller 1. The next one comes out. The next one comes out. The next one comes out. What are you going to do? Are you going to stick with this one? Or are you going to want to upgrade? How do you continue to progress? What happens if this one is no longer? It's the same thing with these image generators and these video generators. All of these things are what we call the multimodal. They are your bookends. So if we look at books on a shelf, you've got the bookends. So you've got the pieces that you want. These are your shiny objects. These are the things that people want. Your avatars, your callers, your image generators, your video generators, your voice. In between is the important piece. And this is the piece that people actually forget. These are the processes and the trainings and the strategies that you have to set up in your business for all of these multimodal effects to continue to scale with your business. Because if you set this middle piece up properly, which again, we're going to continue to talk in other videos, when these new callers, when these new multimodal effects come out as the technologies progress, just like an app on your phone, you delete them. Change the color here so we can see this. We're going to delete this, get rid of it, and we're just going to plug in the next one. Plug in the next one, plug in the next one. Because this piece here in the other videos there's talking about the foundational stuff, when you have this stuff set up properly, these additional tools become easier to use. And by tools, I mean multimodal tools. Your image, your video, these are the things that you let these big companies be able to create these things for you. I have been through something, just a small backstory. One of my first software companies was Instagram direct messaging tool. Sent billions of messages, had hundreds of millions, followers on my platform. This was before it was truly allowed on the platform. I understand what I was doing was technically against their terms of service, but people see now direct message me word on social media. and then the automation. I actually have it in this. I mentioned it at the beginning of this video. Head over to Instagram, direct message me 196. So I created that software before it was actually allowed on the platform. I ended up into a situation where I lost that company due to the TOS, dealing with the Facebook back and forth. I'm not going to dive into that story, but what I did is I had all my eggs in one basket and I lost everything overnight, completely gone. And so did the people using the platform as well. It was an individual tool that can change. There's lots of these tools out now. Instead of focusing on building the foundation, which AI allows you to do, and then plugging in these tools to be able to do the actual work itself. These are the things you got to keep in your mind as the technologies progress, as these tools continue to get better. Are you going to change them? Is your business set up in a way where if these things change, you're still protected? At this point, likely not. And it's okay, because this is just what the markets are teaching you. And there's not enough people out there that are teaching you the foundational stuff. It's a very, very small percentage, but this is why I'm creating these videos, to hopefully help you understand this is what you need to focus on to build your business so it survives longer than 3, 6, 12 months. You want to be a part of this wave, set it up properly now, or you're going to have to repeat it. You're going to spend more money. You're going to lose time. And if you lose too much time, you're never going to be able to keep up. Your competitors are going to smoke by you. It doesn't have to be complicated. And this is kind of the last piece that I wanted to touch on in this video. So all of these AI tools that you're using, death by 1,000 cuts, you're not actually gaining the uplift that you're trying to do. Your team's using them, and they likely have no idea how to use them to begin with. Each one of these tools is trained individually. So every time your business changes, you have to go in and retrain these tools. It's just selling you convenience. If the tool changes, what happens? Do you have to switch the tool? The multimodal effect, are you setting up the actual middle itself? If you do set it up properly, what happens? Do you delete it and add a new one to keep up with the technology? The best thing about it is all of these tools are just built by prompts. And if you understand how to build a prompt, it doesn't become complicated anymore, because then you set up everything in the middle on your own and you just connect the bookends on your own. And this is stuff that we've talked about before in other videos, is your knowledge base, which is everything about your business. So if things change, all of the tools, all of the agents, everything in it change at the exact same time. Then there's your prompt, which again, I'm going to go through in another video. I'm not going to do it in this one, but the prompt itself doesn't have to be complicated. It's understanding what role that you're trying to do. And this is going back into your business, understanding that role, understanding the process. Have you done this before? Do you have an output, a final result of that role? And the prompt is basically built to be able to create that output. This is the start of building your foundation, of the middle piece of your bookends, so you don't have to worry about as many shiny object tools. You're trying to add things into your business that you just don't need, and it's causing you more chaos. It's making you less effective, and you're not going to be able to survive. I can guarantee it. This is why in this week of content, I'm breaking down such a foundational piece of it, from your CEO to your COO to the chaos in between, from the people to these shiny objects, because it's so important to understand these things together, because the rest of it becomes easy. It really does. The clients that we work with, they all have their aha moment. And a lot of the time, once they see this middle piece broken down, which I'm going to do in future days coming up this month, it will click for you. Understanding these tools are just selling you convenience, or selling you the dream. And I understand that's great. But the problem that most people are not thinking about is what happens if they change? What happens if the next tool comes out? And I really want you to sink that in to you and your team to understand. It's like, we need to figure out this middle process, and we need to figure out this middle process now. This is looking at Does our business model need to change? Do we need all of this stuff? Is it going to make us more effective? Because at the end of the day, what you're trying to create is a perfect assembly line where if your business knowledge changes, the assembly line understands that it changes as well. That is the difference between a team that uses AI and a team that leverages AI. This is the difference between unsuccessful teams and successful teams. I'm trying to break this down as simple with these images so you can understand that you're not the only person thinking this. You really are. 95% of the world is thinking this way because that's how the markets are teaching you. So it would be great. Comment below on tools that you're using. If you're feeling this ineffectiveness, what type of results are you getting? So we can kind of create some sort of conversation, because I want to be able to tailor some of these videos along the month to what you're trying to accomplish or the pain that you're running into. Stop chasing shiny objects. Go back to your team. If you do need to, go back and repeat some of these videos that we've already done this week, because it's going to help you. Combine them together, work on them with your team, and go back to the basics. Step back to move forward. But to recap everything, shiny objects will kill your business. They are going to kill your business. Death by 1,000 cuts. It's going to make you less effective. You're going to fall behind. Each of these tools need to be trained individually every single time that you use them. They do not speak to each other, which is another problem. Even if you use the Zapiers that makes the N8N, it's another thing that you have to pay for. This stuff starts to add up. As your systems become bigger, is it actually cheaper than just having somebody do it itself? Looking at the middle, your books of your business, this is essentially your assembly line, which is up here, and then the multimodal effect. Which tools are changing so fast that if we stick with one, we're going to be screwed in the future? AI callers, image generators, video generators, voice, these sorts of things we look at as the multimodal effect. When you have your business set up properly from the knowledge and the prop per role, per person, then you look at, we have the ability to remove this tool or this multimodal and bring in this one as the technologies progress. You start to protect yourself from these vulnerable situations. Your business starts to scale because you start moving slow to move fast. And this is the last point I wanted to touch on in this video. You need to slow down as fast as this market's moving to move fast. The slower you move now, the faster you will move in the future. I can promise you that based on experience. I really hope this video sinks in deep. I'd love to create some comments, create some conversation below. I've got more videos where I'm going to break down these things a little bit more in depth, from the actual building side and a little bit more on the multimodal aspect. But this is something that you and your team need to focus on. So I'm going to end it there. Like I was saying at the beginning, I am doing a challenge myself where I'm posting 196 plus unique pieces of content across social media. Videos like this, deep education across all of my social media to make it as digestible as possible for you to integrate AI and integrate AI properly, as well as what the future of business looks like in 2026 and beyond. So please like and subscribe on this video, comment below, and if you want the exact system on how I'm able to post this much content on my own, head over to my Instagram account and direct message me 196 to be one of the first to get this exact system once the month is over. Stop chasing shiny objects, start focusing on the internals of your business, and as always, stay dialed.